Oh man, big up Combat Chris.
Every time.
Big
Every
up Combat
time.
Chris. I love that beat. It's so damn good. Good morning, everybody. Euros roundup, game day 7. Um, Lots of things happened last night. So why don't we just get straight into it, eh? Let's not mess about.
It's
Let's
not
talk.
just a big.
Let's talk about the stuff that happened in Denmark versus Belgium. Yusuf Poulsen with the second fastest goal in European Championship football history. And I thought everything was going to go down. It wasn't that way, unfortunately. Belgium won 2-1, but football was secondary for most of that day.
Yeah. And you know what? Denmark, in the first half especially, was done Christian Eriksen proud. They were all over Belgium in the first half. A great touch on the 10th minute where Belgium kicked the ball out, and everyone, a round of applause for Christian Eriksen. That was really nice to see. And I said in the preview beforehand that this could go one or two ways with Denmark. Either they could use the Christian Eriksen thing as motivation and say, we deserve to be in this tournament. We lost that Finland game due to the circumstances out of our control, really. Now let's use that to fuel ourselves and move forward. And that's exactly what it looked like in the first half, because they were literally all over Belgium. And I said to myself, if they don't score a second, they're going to regret that. That's exactly what happened, because when you could bring on Eden Hazard and especially De Bruyne off the bench, you've always got a chance of getting yourself back into a game after a 1-0 deficit. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, not exactly. Definition of game changers, those two. But why were Denmark so not Denmark? Why were Belgium so poor in the first half? Because it wasn't all Denmark that was doing it. Belgium, they couldn't even string a pass together properly.
Yeah. I don't know if it was the intensity that the Danish team turned up with, and the Belgium just kind of maybe shell shocked a little bit. Maybe the occasion kind of got to them. Maybe there was a bit like, a bit tentative in the surroundings of themselves. I have no idea, to be honest. But they can't afford to do that throughout this tournament, because they'll suffer.
No, they can't. Now, Ukraine made a massive statement to try and get through to the next stage of the European Championships with a 2-1 win over North Macedonia. Game of two halves for me. Ukraine, a bit like Denmark in the first half, were just on it. And North Macedonia were allowed to get back into the game in the second half. Goals from Yarmolenko and Yaremchuk in the first half. And then it was actually a penalty that was saved from Alioski, who was there to put in the rebound. Yeah. How good did Ukraine look in the first half?
They looked very good. Very, very good. And some great saves from Dimitrievski kept North Macedonia in the game. And then it was those two again, Yarmolenko and Yaremchuk. Groundhog Day, getting the 2 goals for Ukraine. But they looked very good. And Ukraine looked good again in stages against the Dutch. And, they finished above Portugal in the qualifying group. So Ukraine aren't mugs. They're a decent side. And with a bit of momentum, they could trouble teams. You've seen it. But yeah, I think North Macedonia, I felt sorry for Goran Pandev that his goal was disallowed, although rightly so. Yeah. The oldest man ever to take part in the European Championships. Was he 82? He seems to get older every day. Funny enough.
I think he actually's got younger, because I swear I said he's 96 yesterday, so he's now 82. But that's cool.
But yeah, North Macedonia have done themselves proud. They've performed in this competition for their first ever competition. They've done themselves proud. Obviously, it won't be enough for them, because they'd want to go through. But I very much doubt that's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, like, mathematics still allows them to stay in the competition just about. I know people are saying, "Oh no, they're gone." They're not gone yet. They're not gone.
3 points could get you through.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be very tough for them. But yeah, they have every right to be super proud of their nation. I feel that Elmas had a good game. I was really impressed with him. If they can keep this crop together, barring Goran Pandev. There's every reason. There's no reason why they can't come top 2. I need to have a look at their World Cup qualifier group, but they've done really well for themselves. And Ukraine, they were glorious to watch. Really were. Really impressed with Ukraine. I'm hoping that they'll be able to take some of this on and take it into the latter stages.
Yeah.
And then the final game of last night was Netherlands, I should say, versus Austria. Oh, Austria! They've let me down so much. They've let me down so much. They've looked like a Zweite Bundesliga side rather than a normal Bundesliga side. Alaba giving away a penalty in silly circumstances. A man of his experience should not be doing something like that. And Depay took it, bagged. It's only the second of 6 penalties that have been scored in the Euros this season as well, which is ridiculous.
Yeah. That's crazy stat. You know, I'll start with Austria. Obviously, they were your dark horses. My dark horses were Denmark, so we're both struggling here, aren't we? But I feel like I've got like circumstances on my side. But Austria, they didn't start well, and once they put themselves in a bit of a hole, because Alaba was all over the place in the first half. He didn't perform very well in the first game, bar that assist. And when he's your main talisman, he's your best player by some mile, it's not a good look when he's so disappointing. But they stuck at it. They kept going, had a decent chance in the second half when Kalajdzic set up. I can't remember who headed it tamely at Stekelenburg. But yeah, Netherlands were good for their win, comfortable in the end. Could have scored more. Depay missed the sitter.
I need to talk to you about that.
Yeah.
We both bummed the Bundesliga, ain't it true?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Kalajdzic, sorry. He wasn't very good when he came on, if I'm honest. I'm really disappointed in him. Wout Weghorst, you're a striker. Yeah. Why did you not put your foot through that? That is like one of the most glorious. Can you imagine if that's Van Persie? The ball over the shoulder and it's just coming onto you, just looking at it, just literally lace your right peg through it. I was expecting that to nestle. I wasn't even nestling into that. I was expecting that to break the net and he squared it. So disappointed.
I think he made the right decision. I think 100% he made the right decision.
What position did you play?
I was more of a defensive-minded player.
Yeah, so it's the right position, yeah.
I think he made the right decision because at the end of the day, it's a tap-in. It's a tap-in for Depay. And at the end of the day, that's your team's winning. You give it to him, you've got an open goal. That's exactly what Harry Kane should have done with Sterling in the World Cup semi-final. Exactly what Harry Kane should have done.
Striker's instinct, man. Just put you...
Striker's instinct, but...
Lace it.
You're the best. Whoever has the most probability of scoring is who you give it to. And that was Depay. He skied it. And your boy Dumfries is now like one of the top goal scorers in the competition.
Madness. Be real. Who put Dumfries as the Golden Boot winner?
Dumfries.
Ridiculous.
I wonder what the odds are on now. I might even doing that.
What, now? Yeah, do you know what? He'd still be pretty good.
Yeah.
He's a defender in the day, isn't he? So, right then, let's have a look forward to today's games. And we've got a giant fixture today. Sweden versus
Slovakia.
Sweden, Slovakia. This is huge. To be fair, it actually is quite huge because Sweden drew against Spain on the opening day and no one's expecting that. So this is probably Sweden's best chance of qualifying for the latter stages in a long time, even though they qualified for the latter stages in the World Cup. I think this might have just opened the door for them. Yeah. So, big game in St. Petersburg for those. And then the other game in Group D is Croatia versus Czech Republic. Really looking forward to that. This is in Glasgow, 5 o'clock kickoff. Really looking forward to that game.
Anyone but the Czechs.
Well, Czech Republic, it's only a couple of them that I really like. I love Patrick Schick. You know it about that life. You know what I mean? Like, he's a nice guy, you can tell. And then Croatia, of course. They need to bounce back after that opening day defeat against Angleterre. And that is the game that is kicking off at 8 o'clock. England versus Scotland at Wembley. Let's break these down very quickly, and then we'll give it a couple of minutes on the England game towards the end. Sweden versus Slovakia.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see Sweden try to play a different way than what they did against Spain. But I fancy Slovakia. I think from what we saw in the first game, Slovakia versus Poland, they've got some real troublesome players.
Yeah.
I think Sweden, outside of Isaac and Forsberg, who we didn't get to see in the first game due to the tactics on hand, I think outside of those two, they haven't really got many other options going forward.
Well, they've got Robin Kaiser on Palermo legend.
If he starts.
Yeah.
I don't know if Marcus Berg will get a nod, but I fancy Slovakia to trouble Sweden, and I could see a draw in that game. I'm going to go 1-1.
No, when I see trouble, I'm seeing a blue victory. That is a Slovakia win every day of the week this time around. That's what I'm going to say with my chest. Then Czech Republic entertain Croatia in Glasgow.
Again, Croatia need 3 points from this. I would say desperately need it, but I imagine they'll smash Scotland. But I think the Czech Republic are going to set up shop to just nullify Croatia and just try to frustrate them. That could be a risky game. I can see Croatia maybe nicking it 1-0.
I think Czech Republic will be buoyed after that result against Croatia. On paper, against Scotland. Sorry, on paper, Croatia are far superior to Czech Republic, but this is tournament football, and anything can happen. I think I'm going to go with the draw, but if I had to say one of these teams is going to win, I'm going with Czech Republic. Really am. And then the final game, of course, Angleterre versus Ecotia. What way is this going?
There's only one way this can go, and this isn't me being patriotic or anything like that, but the two teams, there's a vast difference between the quality in the two sides, and anything other than an England win would be a massive shock for me, despite the rivalry, despite the history behind the fixture. If you just look at it, there's no way in hell England should drop points to this Scotland side. It's not a very good Scottish side. Take out Tierney, take out Robertson, take out McTominay, McGinn, and it is literally a championship level side.
Oh, you can say that about a lot of teams, can't you? Like take out their four best players, and they're going to struggle. But the thing is, I think on paper, England just have a far superior team to Scotland. But once again, it's tournament football, isn't it?
It's not just the names; it's the style. When I watched Scotland versus Czech Republic, I was like, these guys are playing just kick and rush football. No one else in the tournament is playing that. Even the smaller nations are trying to put the ball down, put passes together. These guys are humping up the line, humping it. Do you know what I mean? It's just like this is terrible football. And I think if they do that against England, once England get the ball, Scotland will be in trouble.
Yeah, for real. Denver sideline, big up yourself. He said everyone's saying England have a tough draw when we qualify, but look at the other end: France, Italy, Belgium, Netherlands, not ideal. Real talk. And he asked me where my red stripe is. Bro, I rolled out of bed at 7:58. And I still had to make the graphics for the show, so I didn't even have a chance to go to the fridge. But don't worry about that; I'll be getting on that. Rick Ayub, he says Dumfries. Oh, Rick, what's good, Rick? What's happening? Dumfries, yes. Big up yourself. And then he said, big up the shock as well, and that is the Scotland game that he's talking about. Thanks everybody for your comments and questions, queries, etc. Of course, subscribe to the channel. I've barely said it. I've just been putting it up on the screen every now and then. Just to remind you, so if you're watching this on Facebook or on Twitter, please go over to the YouTube channel and just hit subscribe, hit that like button. It takes seconds to do. Mac and Devo, we out of here. There you Scotland, and there you.